Hey everyone, this is Max, and today we're going to do a training on our new Power BI tool that we'll be using for sales reporting. This is going to be replacing my pivot tables, which everyone loves so much, and I'm hoping this could be a really good, really much better solution for you guys. So first and foremost, this is how you will get to the reports. You'll go to powerbi.microsoft.com, just like that. And this is the same way that you log into your email. It's the same platform. It's all connected with Office 365. So when you go to sign in, you may already be signed in because you're using CRM or you're using the web email, or it may ask you to sign in and you'll use your ACR email and password. And if you need any help with that, please contact IT. So once you log in, you will see something that looks like this. It will start you out in My Workspace. But what you will actually need to do to find the reports that I've uploaded is you'll need to click on this Workspaces button and then find the ACR sales group. So in this case, I'm just going to go over here to Reports, and I'm going to click on this report here, and that's going to put it on screen. And this will take probably 5 seconds or so. Just want to point out that all the data, the text data here is scrambled because I'm putting this online, and I don't want to have any mishaps of someone who shouldn't have access to this data getting it. The real version of the reports, the data is not scrambled. So this is, there are going to be 4 tabs here. The first tab is designed to be a monthly or over a specific time period comparative view. So what this is doing is this is comparing the current year, which is the CY, to the previous year, which is the LY. And then I'm calculating variances based on net sales, AGP, and there's a lot more, but I've put these cards up near the top of the screen for the things that I found were the most important metrics. So the heart of this report is this section right here, which is a table of all of the customers that have been selected. And when I say selected, every single thing you do, whether you are selecting something within this drop down, or you're selecting a different period, different warehouse, different sales department, and most importantly, your territory ID, which is this is going to be this light green section. Right now I have it selected on a specific territory, and I can change that just by clicking, and the report will update. So this is now somebody else's territory. I'm going to change it back to the previous one. And what you have right here on the right, this is a heat map, which you'll see that it takes a few seconds to spin back up because it's doing geocoding. But you could actually zoom in and out with your mouse wheel. This is pretty cool. And this is based on where your sales were, based on what you have selected. So in this case, whoever territory this is, looks like they're primarily active in the southeast and a little bit northeast, and they have a pretty big shipping location here in Illinois. There's also some shipments on the west side. And this will update with everything that you select. So if you want to see where your MDY product group is, you click on the MDY product group. All these charts are interactive, and it will filter down everything to now be reporting on these groups. So there's a big customer that has this product group. It looks like they're located probably here, and there's 2 others. And you can see that this chart here, this will show you who the brokers are that are active. And you can also, within these charts, you can use these drill up and drill down buttons to go up and down within the hierarchy of sales department to territory to broker / house. And actually within this, you can do the same thing within this item specific view. Is right now it's on division, but you can click this 2 arrows button to go down to class, and then you can hit it again. There's a class V2 which summarizes some of the products that are very similar. So it's an intermediate step between division and class that I've added that I thought was useful. So as I've alluded to, you can also adjust the time period. And anytime you want to clear a filter, like in this case, we're done looking at the MDY product group. We're just going to click again anywhere in the chart, and now it puts all the data back previously. And you can combine filters. You can combine drilling down on these interactive pie charts to also selecting a warehouse. So whatever warehouse this is probably like a dropship warehouse that there's nothing on the map for it. So it could be it didn't get geocoded properly. But now you can see that the data has updated. So we're going to click again, and when there's nothing selected, it selects everything. And there's also like you can use this little eraser button to clear selections. We're not going to do it in invoice month, but let's say I'm going to select 2 of these warehouses to illustrate this. So now let's select 3 of them. So we've filtered down the data down to 3 warehouses. We're going to click the eraser button, and it clears the filters. So these drop downs here are searchable. So in this case, if you want to, you can find a customer just by looking around within this report. You can also just type in their name, and it should find them, or it'll give you the ability to select them here. And let's say I select a customer, whoever this is, it's going to only pull down their information. And if I'm done looking at this filter, I just hit this clear selections button, and we are done. We'll get back to where we were. So this particular view, since it's so reliant on having data in the previous year, it's only designed to look at the time period that is currently in the reports, which this version of the reports is only through April, although you can select additional months. There is not going to be any CY data, current year data for May, although there would be LY data, so it would not be a meaningful thing to look at. But it should give you a pretty quick understanding of what's going on in your territory year over year, and also where you may have some issues. So this chart does not have every single financial piece, such as rebates, bill backs, freight, but it does have units, net sales, AGP, and margin. And it also has the variance. So if I wanted to look at this territory and figure out where am I losing gross profit, I can click on any of these charts and sort. Right now I'm sorting by the high to low. If I click again, it'll sort low to high. So now I know that this territory, whoever this customer is responsible for a year-over-year decline. I'm going to put January back, and everything should filter back. So whoever this customer is responsible for a year-over-year decline of $12,000 of AGP, and they're also down in cases, they're down in sales. So this is related probably to business volume. And there may be also instances where we're down in AGP, but we're up in units, which we've seen, and that's because we're selling less efficiently, or we have higher costs, or things like that. So it's insightful to be looking at this and corroborating with your own understanding of what's going on in your territory. All right, so that's the first tab. There are 3 other tabs here, and I'm going to quickly talk through how they give you different levels of information. I'll keep this a little bit shorter than my usual emails and videos. So the second tab here, this is a quote unquote big picture tab. This is very similar to my pivot tables with regards to structure. Now this does give you all the financial information by category, by month, and you can select, just like the previous screen, I can select a customer here. And if I select a customer, this becomes a report on that customer. So I'm not able, I don't know who to select here because they're all scrambled, but get some guys here that have like a full 18 months of volume. Yeah, so, but you get the point. And of course, all these visual aids will also update as well. This one here just looks at your sales, gross profit, and unit volume. So this territory looks like it's grown quite a bit with regards to unit volume and sales. And AGP, I would say, has not grown quite as much. Maybe there was some margin lost. And that also should corroborate to what we're seeing in this tab, and I kind of glossed over it, but this territory has a year-over-year decline of 5.4% of AGP. So last year they were at 28.9. This year they're 23.4. So that's meaningful. And of course, if we had stayed on this tab and drilled down on different product classes, we could most likely have found the driver of this. We can also look at that on a customer level. So it could be a specific product group, it could be a specific customer, it could be some combination. But we can see that this view, this is now a from 2017 to present view, also corroborates that information. And over here in this chart, this is some of my favorite metrics as far as like average sales price, average cost, and the margin is all here. And this corresponds to the prices that you're selling the product. And this is a net price, so it includes rebates in this case. And the cost corresponds to what your average cost was at the time that you sold. And we can see that difference between the sales price and the average cost have been contracting here from January 2017 to present. So that is why the margin went down a little bit. And of course, there's also freight associations. There's other things that impact gross profit. I didn't want to make this too cluttered, so I've only put down the two most important ones. But if you want to look at the other ones, they're all here in this chart. So you see average freight and also freight per case. In this case, this chart, you can scroll it to the right using this bar and it'll get you the rest of the information. I'm still playing with the formatting of all this. So I'm giving freight per pound because I know that some of you guys think in freight per pound, others think in freight per case. So both useful information. All right. And as mentioned before, you can use any of these filters to refine all the information. All right. So the third tab, this is a way for you to look at a specific customer very quickly. So for instance, if I want to pick, it's still filtered on the specific territory. And this section here, this is now a rolling quarterly view. So it's just like the view that you saw in the big picture, but instead of monthly, it's quarterly. And the quarters terminate upon the completion of the most recent quarter. In this case, the most recent quarter was through April. So this is a January through April. Then this is would have been November to January, so forth. And all the same information until you start drilling it down than the other tabs. And this section here, this is now looking at what the customer has bought. I have description in here, but on the real version, this would be the SKUs. And this table can be sorted just like all the other tables. So right now it's sorted on all customers in this territory with the biggest volume SKUs. But if I were to select a specific customer, let's say I'm selecting this guy. So now this customer looks like they were only active in 1 quarter, and this is what they bought. I've also included the broker here because that's been useful information to figure out if a broker or who the broker is that's getting paid. And I can add more information on here for anyone that needs it. You'll note that the tables, although they have similar information, they're not really lining up correctly, and that's something that we're working around. It's a little bit annoying, I understand. All right, so also in this report, I have the division in a pie chart like before, but I also have the class in this tree map, which I thought was potentially more intuitive to look at, especially when we have so many classes but fewer divisions. So I believe that this will still filter. No, actually will not. All right, that's fine. All right, so the final tab here is an invoice level drill down, which allows you to essentially look within the raw data to find out what's going on to a higher level of detail than the customer drill down. So in this case, I can, once again, I can select one of these customers. And now this becomes a report on that specific customer. It's sorted chronologically with the most recent invoices on top. And this is an invoice level, so it's the summarizes on the invoice. And this breaks the invoices down. So right now, this section, this is massive. This contains all of your lines for this customer. But if I click on just a specific invoice here, then this section updates, and now this is now just that one invoice. So it will tell you everything that happened on that invoice that is important to know. And if there's information that you're looking for that's not here, let one of us know and we'll work it into the report. I also have some notes on this tab as far as just a reminder how to use it. It's designed for you to select a specific invoice or customer to look for things. You can also look for specific SKUs. You can look for specific invoices here. If you know what the invoice number is and you want to figure out what happened to your freight on it or things of that sort. You can also filter down by division and class, and all of these are interactive. It will update all the information. Now, just be mindful of what you have selected, because if you're looking for an invoice in 2017, but you only have 2018 first 4 months selected, you're not going to find it. Also, if you're looking for whatever this MDY product class is, but you have filtered on this ESKJ, you're not going to find this product class. All the filters are working together. But this should be pretty powerful for you to quickly get information and self-serve. And also, I think it'd be useful for the sales admins as well. So we're going to cut off the recording here. Hopefully I didn't stutter too much. And if you guys have any further questions, give me a call or send me an email. Thanks.